Hello, hello, hello. So, yeah, as promised, I'm here live at 7:30. So first time I've done this, I'm on my business page, I'm on my personal page, and I'm on Instagram. So, uh, if any comments come in, then I will get back to you and answer them because there's no way I'm going to answer comments on three pages at once. So, I wanted to come on live this evening and talk to you about changing habits. So, if you have set a New Year's resolution or you've got habits that you want to change, just give me a love or a wow or something. And please feel free to share this video at the end if you have got some value from it. Just share it with your friends and family so that they can help as well. So, if you've got any love hearts or wows, just ping me some in the comments there. Just give me some love. So, habits. I changed my habits last year and it made a massive difference to me. It wasn't until this morning, I was actually doing some reading and I had this light bulb moment as to how I did it. And I was like, oh my God, it makes so much sense now as to why it happened like it did. So I'm going to shed some light on it. So normally we have a New Year's resolution and we go kind of gung ho, and then probably within, I don't know, thank you, lots of thumbs up, give me some love hearts and some wows. Yeah, lots of us start these New Year's resolutions and we want to change these habits, and then we get, I don't know, 7 to 10 days in, and then it all goes Pete Tong, and then it doesn't happen and the habit doesn't change. Sometimes it's because we've taken too much on at once and we've got these expectations, but what I want to do is work it back and give you an expectation of how it's going to work for you so that you've got kind of a realistic expectation of what's going to happen. So let's say a habit takes, well, it's out there, isn't it, that to change a habit it takes 21 days. Has anyone ever heard that? If you want to change a habit, it's going to take you 21 days, which is essentially right. But actually, you probably need a little bit longer. I'm going to explain that to you. So you have what we would call your phase one. So your phase one is 1 to 10 days. So anytime you start something new, in that 1 to 10 days, it's unbearable, right? Whether it's, I don't know, getting up early in the morning, if it's nutrition, if you're starting out an exercise program, those first, I don't know, 1 to 10 days, it's unbearable. You don't want to do it. You hate it. You're not seeing the benefits of it. And it's just awful. And that's when you're just not enjoying it. And you think, why am I doing this? I'm just going to go back and eat all the food or sit on the sofa or just not continue because it's unbearable and it's uncomfortable and it's not fun. So, but what you have to realize is that first 1 to 10 days, it's just temporary. Okay. So if you think about it, it's temporary. That 1 to 10 days is not going to feel like that forever. It's temporary. So if you program into yourself when you start this habit change, that the first 1 to 10 days, yeah, do you know what? It's going to be unbearable for 1 to 10 days, but I'm going to tick those 1 to 10 days off and I'm going to get through them a day at a time. And it's going to be horrible, but it's not going to last forever. It's going to be painful, not fun. I'm not going to see the results in those 1 to 10 days, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know after that it's going to get easier. So look at that first phase, 1 to 10 days, that, yeah, it's unbearable. And then you've got phase two. So phase two, 11 to 20 days. So the next 10 days. So we're looking at the next 10 days where it's uncomfortable. It's not unbearable. So it's better than the first 10 days was. It's just a little bit uncomfortable. So we know that it's got a little bit easier. And like, just plan it. So the first 10 days, it's going to be hideous. And then the second lot of 10 days, it's going to be a little bit easier. You're still going to need discipline. You're still going to need commitment. It's still going to be easy to drop out because a lot of people will drop out in phase two. And you'll fall back to your old behaviors a lot easier. So you've got your first 10 days where you know it's going to be tough. So mark it out and maybe do a tick list, a 30-day tick list, 10 days, unbearable. Let's get through those 10 days. The next 10 days, a little bit uncomfortable. And then, so we're now at the 21-day mark where 21 days to create a habit. So by the end of that phase two, when you're hitting your 21st day, you've got those habits created and things start to become easier. And it's when things start to become easier that you go, oh, do you know what? I've had those 21 days, three weeks. So I've been so good for 3 weeks. I'm going to give myself a treat, or I'm going to have a couple of days off, or yeah, I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to have a lay in. I'm not going to get up early. I'm going to have a lay in. And that is the danger point, because ideally what you then need to do is the third set of 10 days. The third set of 10 days is keeping going and reinforcing everything that you've done so that that becomes your habit. So the mistake is you take a rest in that between 21 to 30 days. But that's the time when you're getting the results and you're going to start to enjoy it. So I'm going to give you an example of this. So back in February, as you all know, I've been on my own kind of little journey, like from February last year. I started a program, and this is without knowing any of this that I'm talking to you about now. This just happens to sit directly with how I've reached my goals. And the program I started was a 21-day program, funny enough. It was a 21-day program. It was 30 minutes a day. And I didn't put it into phases like I've just talked to you about phases. I was just doing 21 days. And at the end of that 21 days, I was going to take a break. So I worked out 30 minutes. So I did the first week was 30 minutes a day. And I think the second week was 30 minutes a day. And the third week, it was 30 minutes in the morning. And if you want to do another 30 minutes in the afternoon, you can do it. So the first week I struggled. I didn't want to do it. So the first week it was like, there is just no way. I can't do it. But I showed up and I did those 30 minutes every day. And then towards the middle of the second week, it started to get a little bit easier, and I was actually starting to enjoy it. It wasn't like the first week was really uncomfortable. I got up in the morning, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit down, my muscles hurt, I was tired, I wasn't enjoying it, I was pretty much hating it. And then the second week, it got a bit easier. The pain got less, I wasn't aching as much. And then the third week, which was leading up to my 21 days, when we came to do 2 workouts a week, when I looked at the program on the week 1 saying I had to do 2 times a week, I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to work out twice a day. There's no way I was going to do it. But I got to the third week and I was enjoying it so much that I started to exercise twice a day, 2 lots of 30 minutes, because that was what the program said and I was enjoying it. And by then I was starting to see the results. And then when I got to the end of the 21 days, I'd actually planned that I was going to take a rest. I planned that I was going to get to 21 days and then I was going to take a week off and then I was going to start another program. But I didn't. And I didn't know any of this about, like, we've got to go for 30 days and we've got to be consistent for 30 days because that's what's going to build your habit. I didn't know any of this, but I went straight into an 80-day program. And I finished that 80-day program. I showed up every day for that 80-day program, and I've been working out ever since because I created a habit in those first 30 days. So that's what I wanted to come on here and talk to you about how this fits in. So if you want to create a habit, you have to be prepared. And I think if you're prepared to go through those 3 phases and you're understanding where it's going to go and how it's going to work and how you're going to feel before you start it, so you're mentally prepared, then you have a greater chance that you're actually going to succeed and reach the goal that you want with that habit. As I said, I put on my post earlier, I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I just have like these goals that I want to achieve or habits that I want to change. And a New Year's resolution, it really is you just changing a habit. So pick a habit, pop it in your diary, give it those phases. Phase 1, which is going to be tough. Phase 2, still tough, but not as tough. And phase 3, where you become unstoppable, where you start to enjoy it and where you start to see the results, because that's ultimately what you want. But most people stop before they see the results. And that's the problem. So you've just got to keep going and know that in that phase 3, that's when it starts to become fun. So it's only 21 days to get through before you get to that phase 3, right? It's only 21 days. So you just got to write it in your diary, be prepared and show up. this book, I talked about this book last week, The Miracle Morning, when I came on live last Sunday. And I read it in a week. It's such a great book. I read it in a week. And that talks about the habits that I've made notes on it in the back of it. And this book, I'm telling you, is a life change. If you haven't read it, I'm still running a group for this where you can come into my accountability group and you can still join it. It's not really an accountability group. We're just doing a Miracle Morning group and we're reading this book and we're reporting how we're getting on. And it's also about that message that you tell yourself. I speak to so many people every day and they're telling themselves, I can't do something. I haven't got enough time for exercise. I can't get up early. I can't exercise. I'm not fit enough. We give ourselves these negative messages. So along with your habits, you just need to give yourself those positive affirmations as well. Start telling yourself you can do it. Like before I go to bed at night, I tell myself I am a morning person and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have energy and I'm going to wake up before my alarm clock. Now, if you'd have seen me 2 weeks ago, you would have laughed me out of the room with that because I wasn't a morning person. I couldn't get up before my alarm clock. I would snooze my alarm clock about 10 times and then eventually get up like an hour later. But if you tell yourself a different story, then you will have a different outcome. Whereas if you are just going to tell yourself you can't do something or it's too hard, all the time, then you're not going to reach those goals. So change those affirmations in your head to tell yourself you can do something and that you can get up in the morning. You are fit, you are healthy, you can do stuff. And then work through those 3 phases. Tick them off if you have to. Write down the 30 days, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and work through it. And then report back to me and let me know how you get on, because I'd love to hear back from you about what habits do you want to change. Let me know, and maybe we can dig it a little deeper. If you want to join my free group, it's just a group where there's a few of us in there who are reading this book. You can download it on Audible, or you can just buy the copy. I'm probably going to read it again, to be honest, because it's great. Then just ping me a message and I can just add you into the group, and then you can get your copy, and then you can join us early birds who are we're trying to slay 2019 by getting the mindset right, because a lot of it is your mindset and what you tell yourself. So you just got to give yourself that positive message that you can do stuff. And just be prepared to put the hard work in. So get through those 21 days and then smash the hell out of the last 10 days, and then they're going to be fun. They're going to be fun. So that's it from me tonight. Enjoy your Sunday. I've got a new group starting tomorrow with all my guys are doing a new program, and we're working out and doing nutrition and working on mindset and books and stuff. If you want any more information, then get in touch. If you got value from this, then hit the share button for me, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. And enjoy whatever you're doing, and get in touch with your habits that you want to change, or habits that you have changed even, because I'd love to hear. Have a great evening, everybody. Take care. Just gonna goodbye on everyone. Thanks for joining me. Hello, everyone. Hello.